will go on the list. And when we win the war, you will be brought to account.
You write what you like, you're not going to win this war.
Oh, yes, we are.
Oh, no, you're not.
Great fun. But have you ever wondered, why in a studio? Hello, I'm Harry Drake, and I'm going to be looking at Dad's Army as an example of a multi-camera studio drama, and how technology production techniques and finance have influenced the evolution of multi-camera studio dramas.
You stupid bum.
Dad's Army was created by Jimmy Perry and David Croft and ran successfully for 9 series between 1968 and 1977. It was about the Home Guard volunteers during World War II and is still broadcast by the BBC today. Academics Lucy Brown and Lindsay Duffy suggested that it started a wave of shows between the 1960s and 70s known as the golden era of sitcoms, including such names as Fawlty Towers, Porridge and The Good Life.
So while you work, Hitler is at work, he's half army, so's his army.
Let's look into the history of multi-camera studio dramas. Studio dramas fall under the genre of soap operas, continuing dramas and sitcoms. Soap operas began in America in the 1930s, with radio serial dramas transferring to TV and daytime TV slots. The first British studio drama was The Grove Family, which was broadcast on the BBC between 1954 and 1957.
Hello. I've just put my bags on the taxi. Well, how are you today?
Morning, Jane. What a lovely dress.
This was followed by Coronation Street, started in 1960, which is still popular today. The same blueprint is still used with EastEnders and Hollyoaks. These types of studio dramas are about ordinary people supporting each other through a series of events and use a multi-camera studio and lot. Sitcoms are also studio dramas, and whilst it was not the first sitcom, the first one, Hancock's Half Hour, started the concept of the multi-camera studio, with the audience present. Ordinarily, programme makers had little choice regarding whether to film in a studio or on location, because the equipment required was heavy, bulky, and so transporting and rigging on location was a massive task. Before magnetic tape, the only way to capture video was on film. Even with the introduction of magnetic tape, the machines were still big and heavy, and the tapes were very expensive. The BBC found a way round this issue with the drama Z-Cars by broadcasting the show live from the studio. Dad's Army was pre-recorded in the studio on videotape, and on location was filmed on celluloid. The technology contrast was very noticeable. The preference these days is to film on location, often with a single camera, like The Inbetweeners. The main exception to this are sitcoms such as Mrs. Brown's Boys, and for practical reasons, such as the shows being aired more than once a week. For example, soap operas, which, as I've said, are filmed in studio and on lots. So back to Dad's Army, this prime example of a multi-camera studio drama. Let's look at the reasons why they chose to film most of the episodes in multi-camera studio. It seems as if many of the reasons relate to the production, mainly because it's cheaper and takes less production time. The clue's in the name of multi-camera. You're recording all the same shots at the same time and cutting between them live in a gallery, and you can see exactly what your finished product looks like as you record, meaning it's a fast and accurate process. Using 2 or more cameras gives the filmmaker the additional flexibility in the way they handle any situation. Without missing any of the action, they can move between different shots and change the viewpoint of the camera and alter the shot's significance. A technique that can be useful to filmmakers when using multi-camera is to film the action and have another camera film someone's reaction.
Don't wear your pencils in your top pocket like that, it looks very common.
Using multi-camera in studio drama means the turnaround is significantly faster and less post-production is needed. A further advantage to shooting multi-camera is that there are less issues with continuity. Another cost saving in production is you can easily set the lighting in advance due to the rig already being available. You've also got a lighting gallery and can set up for the entire filming process. Like most sitcoms, Dad's Army was recording in front of a live studio audience. Werner Valiant, who is the producer for both The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, which is a multi-camera studio drama, and The Middle, which is a single-camera sitcom, suggests actors thrive off performing in front of a live studio audience. And they play to their reactions, often like a theatrical production. This is evident in Dad's Army, with some of the lead actors clearly playing to the audience.
Where do you want to stand?
Over there, Mr. Jones, please.
Right. I would like one with a very grim and serious expression, you know, something like this.
In the studio, you can control the ambience and acoustics. No unwanted background noises from aircraft, birds, traffic and wind. Suitable noises can be added in post, giving the producer more control over the finished product. With single camera, you can optimize the shot, angle and lighting. Single camera shooting is currently more popular because it offers a cinematic look, with a handheld single camera creating a documentary feel. From the late 1990s onwards, advances in camera, audio and editing technology, there's been a significant increase in filming with single camera. It is also considered more contemporary to produce a filmic look more like a documentary. So if Dad's Army was filmed today, would it be a multi-camera studio drama? I think far more of it would be filmed on location. The 2016 release of the film of Dad's Army was filmed predominantly on location rather than in a studio. In the future, advances like 360-degree cameras will be able to let you create multi-camera studio dramas in post-production.